If you're interested or you're starting to look at buying your own house, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you 5 things that no one's going to tell you about, but that are key to your decision making. The first thing is how much you can afford to pay on your bond. No one told me this, so when I was looking at buying my first property, I just assumed that the bank would work out how much I was paying on rent and they would allow me to pay that amount back on my bond every month. But that's not how it works. The banks sort of work out that your monthly repayment on your bond can't be more than 30% of your income. And no one really tells you this, but it's quite important to working out how much money you can get if you applied for a bond. So my advice is go on to a website like Property24, where they have a bond affordability calculator, and you can put in how much you earn and it will tell you how much a month you'll be able to afford and what kind of bond you'll be able to get. The second thing is do your research. So often you can just walk into a property and think, oh, I love this property and I'm happy to pay that price, but rather take your time, get to know the area, visit as many properties as you can in the area and learn as much as you can about the price of what property is going for in that area. This makes massive difference to how much you're willing to pay for something. And that's not to say that the first property you look at is the wrong property, but just know what the price is that people are paying for property and what the value is. The third thing, and this is something that really irritates me about estate agents, is the costs and the rates and taxes and the levies that you'll have to pay. They're supposed to put this in when they list a property sort of online or something like that. They're supposed to tell you what the levies are and what the rates and taxes are, but very seldom are those rates and taxes or levies actually correct. So ask the agent that you're talking to, or whoever it is, ask them for a account from the municipality so you can work out what the rates are, and also if you're living in an estate, what the levies are. If you're living in a sectional title, you'll pay an additional state levy. So I mean, if you're living in an estate that's a sectional title within an estate, you're going to pay a double levy. Number 4 is negotiate on the price. Just because a price has been listed at a certain point doesn't mean that you have to pay that price. Always negotiate with the agent. Try get as much information you can. Do your research, like I said earlier, on what the value of the property is, and sort of try and weigh up how much you're willing to pay for it. You don't have to accept the price that they put it on the market for. You can pay less, but that's a negotiation. So make your offer, make your lowest offer first. If they don't accept that, you can always make a better offer, but you don't want to keep making offers and going back and forth, because you'll just irritate the seller. But just because that's the price doesn't mean that's what you have to pay, and that goes for all properties. Just because you're buying off plan or something doesn't mean that you can't negotiate. You can always negotiate. Number 5, and probably most importantly, is transfer fees. So many people make an offer on a purchase to purchase a property, and then they find out they have to pay an extra additional amount to pay transfer fees, and that amount can be quite significant. So when you're doing your calculations and you're working out how much bond you can get, make sure you work out what the transfer fees are that you're going to pay on that property, and then sort of take that out of what you're willing to offer for the purchase, because you're going to need to pay that transfer fee, and you're also going to need to pay lawyers' fees. Lawyers' fees, I reckon, are about 10 to 15 grand depending on the size of the property, but I think that's a sort of fair guess at what they charge. And then your transfer fees are based on the value of the property that you purchase. So the higher the property value of the purchase that you buy, the higher the transfer fees are. But make sure you calculate these before you make an offer, because you don't want to make an offer and then have to pay transfer fees and you can't afford to pay for the property. So those are my top 5 tips if you're wanting to buy your first home or first property. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, and let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a specific video about anything property related. I'm happy to share as much information as I can.